Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to a Let's Play of Europa Universalis 4 with Red Bastard as Yarkand. Unfortunately, it looks like I lost a couple months of recording here, as these files through Shadowplay are very large. It filled up my hard drive, and we lost a couple months before I realized that the little recording icon had gone out. So I'm switching to a different location, an external drive, and hopefully that shouldn't give us any more problems. In the future I may decrease the quality of these videos a little bit to make those files more manageable and to upload them more quickly. So I'll probably do a very small Let's Play of some other country, just to test out, see what those quality are like. So sorry about that, it definitely wasn't intentional. I don't think we missed much. We are at war with the Timurids, as Delhi had declared on them, and we don't want them to snatch up all of the territory, particularly the places where Persia has cores. So hopefully they won't take Herat or Mashhad and all this stuff in between. So we just did a reactive declaration, and they're trying to occupy as much of this territory as we can as quickly as possible. No, nothing else to report. We will be going to war with Korea again by declaring on Yar-can-do as soon as we get our men back, our diplomat back, that is. We were able to pay off all of our loans when we finished the war with Korea and with Yaren. And we put down the rebels here. We're not going to increase autonomy. We'll just deal with the rebels the old-fashioned way. And we're starting to colonize along the coast of eastern Siberia. Try and get over to Kamchatka, defeat those Siberian tribal councils, and integrate them into our country. Russia is hostile to us, but they currently don't have us set as a rival. I'm not entirely certain why that is. I thought it was because they had just formed Russia from Muscovy, but they should have set us back as a rival. And it seems like they should have the force limit to be able to support us as a rival. They have almost 55,000 men, which is only 3,000 short of what we have. Speaking of men, we will increase our army a little bit. I think we might as well do that. Where do we need men? Oh, we'll do that as soon as we finish this war, or if we see that we need them somewhere in particular. Are continuing to wipe out the Orthodox faith within our borders, and that is going fairly well. I'm going to leave one guy here. I really should get some troops over here as well. And I really don't like the fact that Delhi is the one sieging down Herat. It would have been nice if we would have been able to beat them there. We just didn't have that option. And I'm getting prepared to hit Karshi as soon as they recapture it, because that will just make our borders look so much better. Okay, it looks like ended. Fortunately, Delhi took Karshi, dooming us to have ugly borders. Sometimes you just can't count on your allies. And we're going to hand this over to Persia. Oh, and all this war is going about as smoothly as we would expect. I do want all that money. Yeah, we really should wipe out this tiny little force so that they don't harass us. But looks like that's going to have to wait. Just due to logistical issues of moving around with forts blocking stuff off. That's fine though. Yeah, well, there's some of our inflation. Much better than that alternative. Oh no, our country is looking good. And as promised, we need to start this war. And Korea would join in, foolishly. They're already 781 in debt, so this is going to go very poorly for them. The only downside here is that once we get into this war and we start occupying some of this territory, all of these pretenders could just pour over, which could be funny, so we're just going to see how that goes. I guess we could have marked Korea as a nation of co-belligerents, but we're going to take stuff from them anyway. We really don't care about the aggressive expansion. Unfortunately, it did slow down some of our coring. And we actually do have a coast now, so we could start producing some ships as soon as we capture or core this territory. I'm not sure that that's really going to be useful. Because at most it would push some trade from Giran, but we really need a merchant here. And then it would deny some trade to Japan and potentially to Korea. But I'm not sure if that's worth our time and effort. And Herat has fallen to us. We'll hand that over to Persia. Okay, I like the look of this. Fortunately, our spy got caught, so we'll have to send a new one. And we're going to feed all of those cores back to our vassal. Take some money. Do like the way that looks. So Persia still has 0 liberty desire. They'll get some eventually, but we'll gift them some territory. And I imagine eventually we're going to go to war with Sind and with Iraq. I think, once again, we're not going to increase autonomy here. So we're going to camp our army out in Bukhara and let them crush the rebels that will inevitably pop up. We'll reduce that overextension, and we need to find somebody to spy on. I guess we could continue spying on England. Yeah, that's actually a much better idea. So we'll just wait a little while until we can send some more spies over to England. And we should check out our favors with people. Bump up that trust. And I think it's time to start building some manpower buildings. Yeah, 425 there. That's looking like our best so far. 489, 549, so we'll build one there. And we're seeing some problems that Russia's facing with rebels due to their westernization efforts. It would be a good time to jump on them. Unfortunately, that would drag us into war with Ming at the same time, and it would be rather difficult to fight both of those at the same moment. Particularly while we're fighting in Korea. So we're going to hold off a short while, but I think we'd like to do that as soon as possible. So Naples is their other ally, and we'd like the Ottomans to be at peace. We try to do that as well. So we're starting to lose claims in Ming's Manchurian territory. And we could chase these guys down, but I don't think they're going to do anything interesting. And let's see what the rebels do. They're still camped out there. I'm just trying to sneak in a few quick victories here. And then we're going to try taking this fort and just repeat the same strategy as the last time that we invaded Korea. We've got some Persian support, and we're going to see more and more of that. But we do have some rebels popping up here, so I think we're actually going to move over and deal with that before we go down into Korea itself. So Sakhalin, and we have the troops to simply cross here. Control both sides, but if they capture it, then our naval passage could be blocked. Fortunately, it was not. So we have some lazy diplomats. I better put them to work. Going to need to build a spy network here. Ottomans might be... Are they trying to westernize? Why do they have rebels? Nope, just war exhaustion and estate issues. With a little bit of war exhaustion. I don't know how that happened. Why do they not control that? It is an Ottoman core. So somehow the Ottomans must have lost rebels or lost a war that we weren't paying attention to. Yeah. And we topped off relations with most of our allies, but we do have the opportunity to finish that off again. Let's just repeat that process, and then we won't have to worry about it for a little while. Sadly, that is a lot of rebels popping up, and we're going to start suffering some casualties, making it a little bit harder to fight Korea while both of those armies are massed up in the same spot. That's not ideal, but we'll get past it. It's just a minor nuisance. Okay, so now we do have pretty good paths to be able to march back and forth. And we can be a little bit more strategic about where we want to colonize. So we can get more fur. Not sure if there's any super exciting places. So we'll just send them here. Yes, we're in a land battle here. Korea snuck in and took those mountains we had to attack into. Our troops are just so much better than theirs that it didn't matter. Now, we could actually get ahead on tech here, but we're nowhere near our cap. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. Well, Bengal declared war on Ming. And let's see what what Bengal's aspirations are. They almost certainly called Delian as well. They did. So we're not going at this alone. They have ambitions for essentially Tibet. Just double check what we've claimed. We have claimed all of that. And we'll put in a few more claims in Russia. And I think we'll claim all of this up here. And I'd like to take that fort. Make our expansion a little easier. Let's see if we can get a couple more forts. So we'll just claim that for now. And then we are going to answer that call to arms. We've got low manpower. We can make 7,000 more troops. I'm probably going to do that, just because this war is going to get big and ugly. So we can still make another 3 units. And we better get them along the Russian border. And I'm going to set Persia as supportive. I'd like them to add their troops to our efforts. And we're just going to hold the line here for a moment. as expected, those pretender rebels are moving around. Get some piety.